what? This whole time I was on mute. Judge not, least ye be judged. Rewind. Okay, I'm back. I am not hosting this one, but my co-host has arrived just in time for me to not mute, not be on mute. Thank you for letting me know that I was on mute. Um, so I was saying, if you could be so kind as to, if you could be so kind as to um, watch it on YouTube. That is what I was saying. Watch it on YouTube because that would allow me to see your comment with your name, and I could better boop 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 flow with that. Okay, for the time being. So yeah. But without further ado, let's bring our host on because it's not me.
Right.
Give me a hand. I cannot.
I actually like the names. They're pretty cool, right?
Cute.
I had to tell Alexa to stop.
Oh, it's okay. Lexa, stop it.
I need to find you on YouTube so I can share this. So how do I do that?
There is. I will put up a link in.
On your live?
Yeah, give me time. Give me a second to do that.
Okay.
But in the meantime, in between time,
Or I'm going to share it on Facebook too.
Control C. I'm gonna pin it now in the comments. There you go.
Too. Okay. Make sure to click the YouTube link
Okay.
if you want.
Sorry, guys. Do a little housekeeping. Boop 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 boop.
Right. So, what an interesting night indeed.
What an
Self-lovin.
interesting night. Self-lovin.
Yay
And then
or
most
nay?
people were acting like when I put it as a question on the Question Time Live page, people were like, "Oh, I pamper myself all the time. I love myself all the time." I'm like, if y'all don't stop, so I had to change the wording and just just use that word of.
Right. Right. I thought to myself when they were saying, I said, "Oh, aren't they so innocent? They have no idea that we're really talking about." Right. I just want to say that I don't want to be blocked, Mr. Zuckerberg. So put that out there.
Right. Please don't block us. We're
Right.
gonna keep it as PG as possible. Right now, I mean, PG is.
There's a lot
PG
you can do
is-
with PG, right?
Hello.
So you let me know when you want to get into it, and we'll do so.
I'm ready. I just wanted to pull up this question time that I asked so I can go over some of these comments.
Right. So you have the comments. I'm on
people say
Facebook
it.
on my phone here, so I can see the comments on Facebook. But you can see, I don't see your YouTube link in the comments yet, though.
On the question time page, it's on there. I promise.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. But it's not in the Facebook comments. Gotcha. All right. So
it's in the Facebook comments. It's in the YouTube comment too. I think it's in both.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So yeah. So this particular topic came to me after Question Time Live, Raw News, No Fluff, took off last year. And I inboxed you on it, and it was a very, I mean, literally, someone inboxed, text me, it was like, "You guys should talk about that." I'm like, "Yeah, how did you get that out of all of the George Floyd and all the stuff we were doing?" They were like, "Yeah, but I want to see you guys tackle that." And that topic was masturbation, or like I like to call it, the art of self-simulated sex. Write that down. That's your trademark, because that's exactly what it is. There are a lot of different opinions about there are a lot don't laugh. There are a lot of different opinions about self-simulated sex. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it healthy? Is it something that you have to do? Everyone's doing it, right? Is it an elephant in the room, or a giraffe, or
Might be a trunk.
right, right, or at least a few peanuts. But anyway, the point is, what is it? So I'm going to try to facilitate this as a host and not a guest, right? So I'm gonna put on my host cap and try to moderate and leave my opinions to the minimum. So, in your opinion, Brandy, do you think that everyone masturbates?
No, I do not.
Do you think that people don't masturbate because of free? Man, that's gonna make me cry. That's so funny. You are a comedic genius, man. That's some funny stuff. I gotta recover. So listen, that's funny. Um, as far as people are concerned, that's some funny stuff. As far as people are concerned, I think that everyone does not masturbate, but I do believe at some point or another you have experienced or experimented rather with masturbation. Um, and I'll talk about me personally, right? Without talking about me too personally.
Right.
So I remember there was a time in my life where I was practicing abstinence and celibacy, which I still believe in practicing when you're single. Hallelujah. However, there was a time in my life where I was single and I was practicing celibacy and abstinence. And I literally had some physical things that were happening that I could not explain. Uh, Literally, we call them wet dreams. I was not having those, but I developed a very bad case of, this is real personal here, folks. This is real personal here. A real bad case of basketball. So listen.
Pelotas azules.
Right. Blue balls, right? It's a real thing that guys get. Tender, sore, and after.
But are they really blue? I'm sorry, I've always wanted to know. Are they really
I
blue, or
never
is that just
stopped to
white
look.
people?
I never stopped to look to see what color they were, but there was such a tenderness and a pain, and I consulted with a mentor of mine and said, "Look, this is what's going on. This is real deal happening." And he said, "You got to release. You're backed up. You got to figure a way." And I began to think that we always deal with this topic as a spiritual one, but I think let's just put spirit to the side for a little bit and talk about
Okay.
biology.
All right. I like that.
Biology, if you are not releasing, I almost said a vulgar word. If you are not releasing semen, sperm, I almost say the other word. But if you're not having those releases,
Come over here.
right, exactly. Your body will tell you that it's time. Your body will say it's time, whether it's through a wet dream that you have no control of, or whether it's through you just going and getting rid of the backlog in order not to have this tenderness. I actually have heard women say that they have a such thing as, I don't know what they call it. I don't know if it's called purple pouch or whatever. That was good. Come on. That was good.
Trademark that one.
Yeah, that was actually.
And I'm gonna go with no for that one, but trademark it anyway.
Right. So I've heard that women have something similar that happens. You said that's you're not familiar with that?
I've never heard of that.
Wow. Okay. So I think that it is definitely something that we as people do. It's something that we as people do. It's something that needs to be done. Is it right or wrong?
Oh wait, I have a question.
Sure.
So you said that men, your bodies will tell you that you have to release.
Oh yeah. You get a pain in the pit of your
the
stomach.
children of your loins.
Right. You get a pain in the pit of your stomach. I'm going to use scientific terms. Your testicles are very tender to the touch. Literally.
Ball sack.
Right. Right. Literally the touching of your thighs, your anything, it's painful. It really is suffering.
So is it safe to say that men PMS too? And that's just y'all's PMSy time?
I don't know if 1 month is enough to make that happen. I don't think that 1 month produces. This is what science
Because it's
says.
basically like a woman ovulating.
Right. But
Your body
science
does that
says
naturally.
that it could happen even, I take that back. It could happen instantly. Anytime you're aroused and your mind thinks that you're going to close a deal or come home, so to speak, and that doesn't happen, you have the potential for that to happen. Because
that's pre-com.
Right. It's already started the process. Right. But if you get the pre-op without the actual operation, then you get blue balls. So
so you have to release.
Man,
or
listen.
Can you just control yourself?
You don't have to release, fellas. Let me tell you this: don't go home with blue balls. Don't rape anyone either, because no means no. But what I'm saying is
that one left,
real left. But you got to find. Hey, yeah, this is Get the attorney on the phone. Yeah, it's okay. No, but listen, right. It is something that your body tells you have to do. I know guys who have been with women who are not ready to take it to that next step, and they please themselves because once you go home, it's a matter of biology and it's something you have to do. So I don't look at it as a sin. I don't know how deep you want to get into that, the scriptures that people use.
Yeah, we can come back to that. We'll keep that separate for a second. We're gonna be in
a
world for a little bit.
Biology bids, and watch this. This is something that I'm going to tell that a lot of men are going to agree with me on. They don't want their wives and their girlfriends to know. Even if a man is in a very healthy sexual relationship, he's married, that does not mean that he does not enjoy self-pleasure when you go to the store, when you leave him home alone, or anything like that.
Okay, see, I can understand that because I have a lot of guy friends for some reason. I don't know why. Are they friend zoning me? I don't know. Anyway, and they'll say they prefer to do it themselves because they know how they like it, how they want it, how long they want it to last. Is that true for you anyway? I mean, if you do that,
right. First of all, you would be assuming that I do that. Second of all, you would be assuming that I give that much thought to it. If I did, I don't know that I would. But what I'm saying is, it literally, the control factor is bittersweet. I've studied this, right? Even before. The reason it's bittersweet, the problem with masturbation for men is usually you can please yourself in a shorter amount of time than it takes a woman to.
Right, because you know what you like. You know what it feels like for you.
You know what you like.
You know
the intensity. You know the speed and the rate and this, that, and other.
Right.
It can desensitize you from what reality is and make you very selfish when you are in a situation where the real thing is presented.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Somebody else said the same thing. Hey, Jason, thank you. Jason is my husband, just so everyone knows. We're in love. Okay, anyway. Who was it that said that everything? I'm sorry. Let me try to find it as fast as possible. Okay, Michael Ray, he said, only in moderation, like everything else, too much self-care can affect intimate bonding. And I was like, how so? To what he says, once my computer stops being embarrassing, well, he basically said that it deludes, is that the word? It delusions you into thinking that that's how it's going to be, and it makes you more self-focused, I think. I don't know. Darn it, my computer is acting stupid. But once it comes back, I'll bring it back up. But go.
Okay. Yeah, but so it does, I think, dilute the experience. I agree with that 100%. I think that it takes a lot of mental strength to do that for a long period of time. I don't think that that's the purpose. I honestly don't believe that that masturbation should be a supplement or even a replacement for healthy marital sexual relations. I think that it is something that happens, but I think in a normal, in a perfect world, so to speak, it should not exist. Maybe I don't think there
What?
should be a reason.
Masturbation?
Yeah, in a perfect world, it should not. In a perfect world, you should be able to please yourself with your husband or your wife at will or at whim.
Right. Well, I mean,
You know,
yeah. In perfect world, you
in a
should be able to
perfect world,
get. Basically, you should be able to get it when you want it.
you should be able to get it when you want it. In a perfect
Real
world.
quick. It came up. Michael Ray said, "Too much self-love brings one to look at sex as a way to release those endorphins, which is euphoric in nature. So the feeling is chased, not the personal intimacy with that special someone." That's what
Right.
he said. I like
Yeah.
it. I like
I,
it.
I, I think that's pretty legit. Um, trying to center my camera there. Yeah, I think that's pretty legit. So it's one of those things where I think, and this is again me, I can talk from a man's perspective, but talking from a woman's perspective, because usually when you hear of women that discuss masturbation, it's always, I'm single, I don't want to be with a man, I don't want the drama, yada yada yada, so I'm going to do this. It's never really a place of um, recreational pleasure. That's a for a woman. Like guys, you hear different things they say. Not necessarily with women. Most women, when you hear of that, it's usually a last resort. Is that because women only have to use masturbation as a last resort, and they're constantly flanked with offers, or what causes a woman to?
Um, True. I think women can get it whenever they want it. Really. Um, Myself excluded. Anyway. But I also think it's
Right.
most women masturbate when their partner isn't fulfilling them sexually.
Really?
Right. So because it seems to take more work than it seems to take more work than getting a man off. Men don't want to put in them extra little few little steps to get the woman, and because women like to fake it anyway. But yeah, I think that's why most women masturbate to finish
Wow.
what was started.
Should a man be offended by that?
You know, the woman should be offended by that because y'all not doing y'all job.
Ouch. I don't have those problems. I just want to say for the record, I'm safe. But anyway, right. But anyway, I think that right, right. I'm helping you build a brand. I don't want to destroy mine. But anyway, listen. So
Go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah,
I'm listening. That was funny.
right. So I think that should masturbation be in marriage at all then for a woman? If a woman is masturbating in marriage, then what you're saying by your definition is her husband doesn't please her on the regular.
Yeah.
This is getting ready to go really left.
Okay.
All right. Put your
I'm
seatbelt on
left-handed.
for this. So is the goal climaxing along with masturbation? Because, for example, if a man does not, I'm going to get emails and inboxes about this. I already feel it, but it's okay. We're here now. Is it that the type of or the way that you climax as important as the actual act of climaxing? Because let's say a man does not please a woman vaginally with his penis. We're grown. Um, the old folks used to say, if it's not in your hips, it could be in your lips. It's, right.
Okay.
Right.
Who are these
So,
old people you know, man? They're pervs. Go
right.
ahead.
Okay. So so it could very well be someone who is just doing their thing because it's let me see how I can say this. If someone gets you off and it's not penis to vagina,
Just like a dude, because you taking forever to get to this point.
Right.
Just like a dude, a nut is a nut.
All right. Okay. All
It's
right. So
it feels good. It's a pleasure. So whether it's in your lips or your hips, it is what it is. I mean, do dudes care? Do you care if it's vaginally or orally or manually? Do you really care, or are you just trying to get off?
men do care.
Really,
Yeah.
I like this. Go ahead.
Men pleasure for a woman is synonymous with connection. If she is not connected to her husband, that could be perceived as lack of pleasure. Okay. I can go. I can buy that. I think men do care. I think there is a difference in ejaculation that's prompted by vagina, that's prompted by or and prompted by self. I think self is a very survival of the fittest thing, like
Okay, right. I can
in and
take
out
that
the
one.
in and out the way. But I think with vaginal and oral, I think it is a difference. I think because men are more mental than women give us credit for. The common mistake with the woman is, oh, he just want physical. Well, if as long as it's friction down there, he's okay, like a
That's
dog,
because that's what y'all say. We're physical
like a
beings.
dog.
We're physical beings.
But men are mental and visual as well, and I think a man being pleased orally is a different type of is a different type of pleasure that comes with ejaculation than vaginal. Who just said men do care? Is that a man or a woman? I can't see who that
I'm
is.
looking. They didn't comment on the YouTube page, so I have to go. I have to go see who said that.
Okay, but yeah, men do care. I'm glad that that actually came out. Sister, brother, be honest with your spouse. But sister, if you want to keep your husband, he does care. That's I ain't gonna go in that because this is about self-loving, yay or nay. But this also is about mouth loving and vagina loving too. But anyway, so because if you do those right, he won't have to love himself. Hello, somebody, come back. Yeah, but yeah, I think it is out of necessity for a lot of people. I don't think
Oh,
men who have a woman that they're attracted to sexually want to masturbate. You know what I mean? I think it's always comes from a place of I'm lacking or I'm missing out something, or maybe she's not doing something. Because women don't like to be coached during sex. That's a huge problem. A woman takes it personal when you give her instructions because they want to please you and they don't want to feel like they're coached and they take it personally.
I mean,
Um,
what really can you say? First, before you say, what can you say? Like, throw it back harder. Okay. But real quick, I
right.
don't know who said this, but he said, "Preach, my dude."
Thank you, sir. Or ma'am, I appreciate you.
But this is what I care about right here, right here, right here. Which is preferred by a man? It was a man that made the comment below. Yes, TD Mason. Hey, friend, ain't seen you in forever. Made that comment about men do care. So she's asking you, TD, and you, uh, give me a hand. Which is preferred by a man? Bars.
Um, I'm assuming that question is which is preferred, oral, vaginal, or self pleasure.
Well, we know self pleasure isn't going to be preferred by a man,
No,
but
no,
go
I don't
ahead.
think self pleasure is what's preferred. Um, you would be surprised. Men enjoy oral sex a lot more than they give credit for. A lot, and it's more than just the act of oral sex.
It's the
There
sense. It's
is
the seeing. It's what you're seeing, right?
it's not only what you're seeing.
Y'all so nasty.
There is something erotic and empowering about a woman who's either kneeling or bent over in front of you in a submissive stance with your penis in her mouth. That's honest. All right. There, there, a lot of good housewives have lost their husbands to a woman who was willing to pleasure a man orally and she wasn't.
I'm not a man, so I can't tell you if you're right or wrong. It makes. I mean, it makes sense.
So
Yeah.
I think that, but there is no substitute for vagina. I want to be clear about that.
Preach, shut your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like this is a setup.
The hashtag though, preach, shut your mouth.
Right.
So anyway, I'm sorry, that was funny. So back to the bastion of the master.
That was quick and witty, so to speak.
Oh no, I lost the comment. Oh no, I hope I don't fall. Um,
Should it be a regular part of your life if you're single? Should it only be something when you can't go any further, or when you can't go any longer, or should it be a part of your regular routine?
okay, if it's part of your regular routine, you have a problem.
Okay.
Um, no, I don't think for a woman. See, and it was a comment on the Question Time Live question, and it was about the refractory period. And I agree. Some men don't need the refractory period. They can get back on to the get back on. But for women, it's like we can right and be ready right now. We're ready while we're huh-ing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Well, your
I don't
member.
think for a woman masturbating is like, oh, okay, I'm done. I've released. Because the fact of the matter is, I don't mind releasing again. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
right? But let me ask you this: when you say, if you said something earlier, uh, leading up to that statement, that if you're masturbating, if it's part of your regular regimen or routine, something's wrong with you. Does that include
I ain't say something was
toy?
wrong with you. I said you got a problem.
You got a problem. Does that include toys, uh, the rolls, dildos, and all that? Do you do women consider toy play the same as masturbation?
So it's a help. Um, so it's a help aid, right?
Okay.
All the doughs and the toys and all that stuff. Those are help aids, right?
In masturbation is what you're saying.
I'm hold on, I'm getting to the point. Is lotion or Vaseline or some kind of lubricant a help aid for men?
Hmm.
So yeah, it's considered masturbation. You're not having sex with it. You know, it's not it's something. Well, you technically are having sex with it, but you also have sex with your hand. So it's like, but yeah, that would be, yeah.
So I had a youth pastor when I was younger who um, tried to convince me, and I don't agree, I don't believe this, but he tried to convince me that self-stimulated sex was akin to homosexuality. Your thoughts on that?
I would have never put two and two together. So I'm gonna go with a no on that one.
And I'll give you his reason.
Oh, because he's saying that technically you're having sex with a man if you yourself are having sex with you yourself who is a man, and the
Yeah.
woman is having sex with herself who's a woman. Sir, you're reaching. You're reaching, sir.
He said you're aroused and your man hand is gripping your member. And the fact that your man hairy knuckle hand is gripping your member until you pleasure. I didn't choke my chicken for 6 years. Listen, no, he taught that, and it worked when we were teenagers. It worked a lot because you're like, I want self-loving, but I want to be not that homosexuality. I'm not trying to get into that, but I'm just saying,
Right.
me personally, I didn't want to be, I didn't want that to equate to that for me. Um,
I'm just gonna leave that up for a little bit because that's
Ashley said,
crazy. That's crazy.
yeah, I mean, he literally said, if you can close your eyes and you could
But you're
uh,
not looking at your
pleasure
manly
yourself,
knuckled hand.
right,
You're imagining whomever you're imagining, and I don't think that person has a hairy knuckle hand.
right. Well, Oprah Winfrey's bank account is, has nothing. That's where my mind usually is. Um, just saying. Choke.
You'll do anything for $1.
Right. Right. Or a billion of them. But listen, so
Well, well.
right. So I think that those are some of the things that give people the stigma. Let's talk about this in the Black community.
Let me ask this real quick.
Sure.
To everybody that's viewing right now, is masturbating on the regular okay? Is it normal? Is it expected when you're single? Comment. Go. Okay.
So in the Black culture, the a lot of um, the stigma that comes with masturbation is typically found in the fact that, religious leaders have said it's wrong, and they use a scripture in the Old Testament. I won't go through all of it, where a man was supposed to marry his brother's widow and have children, and the Bible says he spit on the ground. And
He spilled the semen on the ground. That wasn't. He didn't.
yeah,
I
I
don't think
had
he
I had
touched
nothing to
himself.
do
I don't think
with.
he touched himself. He just was at that point of ejaculation. And he was like, ah.
I think it had more to do with the fact that he didn't follow the covenant than it did the fact that the seed actually hit the ground. We
Right.
come from a church, where for many years they taught against birth control and even condoms because they felt like anything that did not result in procreation was spilling the seed. So it was not about spilling seed, because I think the body, I can't remember how many millions of sperm that your body produces every day. You can't spill enough seed not to have seed to reproduce. You know what I mean?
Right.
A man can't do that. So I don't think that biology or God's design points to that
You
as a
think
reason
God's
not to.
design pointed to makes you get rid of those seeds once a week, kid?
Right. No.
No.
So
Okay.
exactly. So I don't think that particular biblical scripture. I think if anything, the lusting part, like you spoke about earlier, who you're thinking about. I mean, you're lusting and you're thinking about someone else's wife or someone that's single. I think that could be an issue. But if, and this is not my business, but if I was talking, I can imagine somebody saying this. Sometimes you can have experiences from your past with past lovers or present lovers that you're just not. Is if a wife goes out of town for a couple weeks on vacation or a week on a business trip, and I'm ready, and so is Freddie, and my wife is gone, and I pleasure myself thinking about my wife and past experiences. Is that wrong? If I call my wife and I'm pleasuring myself while we're having phone sex, is that wrong? So it's still self-love though, right? That still has to equate or equal
Well,
self-love.
if we're doing the biblical of it, then no, because you're married, and that's technically within any. Nothing is defiled in the bedroom except for backdoor action. I guess it is. Um, I, I'm believing that to be so. Um, it's an exit,
Okay.
not an entry. But we'll talk about it. Anyway. So
Hello.
I don't think that is shunned upon within the married,
Confines.
the confines of marriage. Now, if you just doing it willy nilly,
Uh-huh.
I think that if we're going biblical, I think that is sexual immorality.
Okay. All right. So the only people who can masturbate are married people. Is what we're saying.
If they are doing it together, like if
Right.
not, you can't
Or
just be
even if my
like,
thought process is her. What if we're not doing it together? What if, she's not, what maybe she don't even know, but she went to the grocery store and I woke up from a nap and I reached over and she wasn't there.
then
And
you
I
need
didn't
to
want to
wait
wait
for
for.
me, sir. You wait for me. I mean, it
Right.
goes back to Kurt Franklin. I
Ooh,
mean,
that's a good question. If a man or woman masturbates before the husband or wife gets home, and at least them not being able to perform when they get home, is that cheating? Is that a reason to be upset? Is that a reason for a
yeah, it's a reason to
husband
be
or a
upset.
wife to be upset? If you found out your partner was doing that, behind your back, Is that something that they lose privacy on? That's a real good point.
Yeah, yeah, you, because your body is no longer your body. So you have stolen my body from me. And now I have to have an out of body. Anyway, yeah, I don't think that it's cool. So now the question is, does he call her or does she call him and be like, hey, well, she doesn't need to because she'll be ready when he gets there. Does he need to call her and be like, hey, I just want to rub one out real quick. Are you coming home in the next 30 minutes? Because I
Well,
won't be ready if you do.
let me ask you this. Okay, let's go a little further down this rabbit hole. Um, you desire to have sex this Tuesday night. Your wife has a big test tomorrow in college or a big project due at work. She's not in the mood, or you may be stressed out at work. You're not in the mood. Does that give me permission to go in the bathroom, the next room, the guest room, the basement, the car, and please myself? Is that okay?
And we're talking about in the world of in the
In the
married
confines of marriage.
situation. And are they both Christians?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a Christian when she is. Yeah, we're Christian. Even if we're not Christian. I mean, I want some nookie. You say no cookie, and now I'm on the lookie. Is what I'm saying.
I'm going to say,
If I get home and he can't perform, there becomes a cause of so you think, sister, madam, lady, that if anytime a man can't perform, that's because he's shot his bullets with someone else?
he shot his bullets in somewhere, and you can't tell me, oh yeah, it's like, so why are you doing it so often? Like, what's going on with you? What's going on? But to answer your question
Wow.
real quick, if they're married, she can't really say, she can't decline without both parties agreeing. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful now. The feminists, they're coming
That's
after you.
fine. They can come on after me. I'm not saying he's going to rape her. I'm saying that
Right.
be like, hey, you got 3 minutes.
To
Figure
get
this
it
thing
together.
out. Let's go. Because I got to get
Get
back
it
to
together.
studying. I'm not saying you can take an hour like you normally do. You got friggin' 3 minutes. Um, Ashley said it's not regarding if people. I believe this is regarding if someone that is single should normally rub one out. It says it's not expected, but it's needed. I can only speak for women, so releasing is an emotional act. Oftentimes, sex is typically an emotional act. Oftentimes, when a person is going through something hard in life, sex releasing acts as a deep compressor.
So you think that, well, so every time a woman says I'm not in the mood, it's a bunch of I mean, so if she's not in the mood because of stress, what you're saying is that's really not true.
No, she can be, no, somebody can be not in the mood. I don't want to. Da, 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 da. I mean, that's just a fact. Golly, can you imagine if your partner wanted to have sex with you every 5 minutes? Dude, I am not in the mood. And that's a real thing.
Beyonce said, "Tap me on the
Beyonce's got
shoulder,
money. Out
and I'll
and
roll
Kelly
over."
said that. Kelly said that. Beyonce
Oh,
did not say that.
oh,
And that's
touche.
saying when he comes home. That's not saying you already home. We just finished.
All right.
And that's for Valentine's Day.
Your birthday. Our
You
anniversary.
tripping. You tripping. Thank you. He tripping.
Well, let me ask you this. What happens, ma'am or sir? You're foreplaying. All right.
That's the answer to your question.
That's just me. If we are exclusive, and I know the last time we came to.
Why are you not ready, sir? You got some explaining to do. But go ahead. You were about to say?
What? So you're foreplaying. You're
Just a little 12 play.
right. So you're foreplaying. There may be some oral or vaginal stimulation. What happens where he or she, this is so disgusting, pops their load before actual intercourse, but mentally, that's where you were, so she's either satisfied or he's satisfied.
Wait, say it one more time.
You go from foreplay to oral play.
Okay.
Someone climaxes before the big show, before vaginal intercourse happens, and one party or another party is not pleased or satisfied. Is self-love. Then okay. Is it self-love if someone is lending a hand though? What about that? What if
no.
Okay.
Then the self isn't involved.
Yeah. So well, I guess not. That's well, I don't know how to say that without sounding vulgar, so I'll pass. Yeah, I'll pass on that. But I think that there are certain situations when you're not satisfied and another person has been satisfied by you, there is almost an expectation that that person rolls over without you getting what you need. You're going to have to take care of yourself. If you're not taking care of yourself, you may be seeking someone to take care of you. Could you imagine?
I mean, if your partner isn't taking care of you, you might be seeking someone else to take care of you. If you're selfish, you might be seeking someone to take care of you. It's a
Yeah.
bunch of ifs.
But what if so this is I've known men who
You've known. I'm just go ahead.
not like Adam knew. Sure enough, not like Adam knew Eve. That's for sure.
Hello. Okay.
But some men see self-love after the a season or a time of them not being satisfied as a help. Who's that? Heck no, that person's selfish. Should they just roll over like that?
I'm not sure if it's not showing up.
Okay. Write your name in your own comments, people. Help us out tonight.
Or go to the YouTube page and comment there.
Or go to the YouTube page, sign in and comment there.
So I can call and go out.
Yeah. So what if, and this is, I'm sure this has happened. Some men, I don't know if women believe that, some men who have not been satisfied or are not getting it enough see masturbation and watching pornography while doing it, or just masturbation off of memory, as a way of not cheating. Because like you said, once you get off, a lot of urges and desires, you may not be in her inbox after you get off. You may not be as susceptible to stepping out or to feeling like you're neglected after you get that release. I think that masturbation could be a buffer until you and the missus or mister can figure it out and have that conversation.
Okay.
Oh, Tasia,
come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm gonna bring this person.
Conversation.
These names.
Oh,
okay. Tasia, come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm gonna bring these names, man.
No,
these names. Okay. Tasia, come on in the room. Come on in the room. I'm gonna bring these names, man.
No,
these names. Okay.
That's good.
Okay, so not flying solo. What say ye?
I just came on for the portion about if he's not performing, like would I view that as, because he's masturbated, would I view that as suspicion, and why? Because I don't know if you put my comment up, but I know how often we're coming together. So there should be no justification. Like, I know that you should be ready to go, or that you could be ready to go. So if you're not, to me, it's like, oh, okay, what happened? So I don't know. I would just think, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Man.
And let me ask you this. Are you offended if he says, oh, you were late for work, or I got off early, I've been here by myself, I took care of myself?
Yeah, I would want some
Yeah, I would.
conversation. It's like, call me, let me know this is happening. Cause then
Are
it's
you
yeah, I would be offended. Or
are
not
you nego-
offended, I would be kind of taken aback.
are you negotiating like I can't do that, but I can.
What is that?
Right.
It's no longer in my hips, but
That's in my lips.
it's in my. Okay, is it something
In
like
in
you
the
can
word
say?
in the words of my great grandma, they are stuck together. She ain't got no
Give me a
choice.
hand said there's been many of housewives, according to him, that have lost their husbands because they zipped their lip and didn't unzip the
you
lip.
better you better unzip your hey, you better unzip your lips.
No,
Right.
I mean, I think, yeah, give me the opportunity to be what you need me to be. I
Yeah.
want him to give me the opportunity to be what he needs me to be. Cause I'm a believer of, you call it out, we're gonna do it. We're gonna try that,
Mhm.
um, for the most part.
Oh,
Now let me
okay.
see that. Cause I know
Ooh.
I got some fans out there watching.
Ooh.
No, but seriously, I think give me an opportunity to be that.
Right.
Don't just take matters in your own hands, literally.
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 Literally. Um, give me a hand. I think that it's um, extremely important for people to understand that people masturbate for different reasons. I think so. When you're married, I think there should be a different set of rules for masturbation because your climax does not belong to you. Unless you're one of those people who can
Oh,
climax multiple times and you don't have a problem with taking care of yourself. And then, but I'm not going to tell my business, but I heard guys have heard before, not me, but I've heard even after having sex with a woman orally that I'm telling too much of my business. I'm
you
putting
just
this
said it wasn't about you.
right.
No, it's
I'm,
about.
I'm putting this car in reverse. Yep, definitely reversing. I've heard. Uh, is it possible for a woman to know, based on how a man climaxes, whether or not this is the first time he's climaxed since they last were together? If that makes sense. Can a woman if it was not as explosive or not as uh, can a woman tell based on those encounters? No, we ain't had sex in 2 weeks. It should be
Yeah,
more than this happening.
I think so. I think Colleen said no. I think that because a guy, if he's staying to himself, whoever said I definitely believe so,
I
I'm
think
with
it's
you. Fluff.
Tasia.
You, if a guy is staying to himself and you're not, like, let's say you went 2 weeks without having sex, a guy comes faster the longer he hasn't been with the woman. So
Right.
if you're having sex every day, it's like it gets to a point where you like, well, I'm talking about myself. I mean, there's been times I'm like, dude, it's been an hour and a half. We got to cut this short. Well, if you need me to start clucking like a chicken to get you off, we're gonna do this because you got to get up off of me.
A chicken hoe.
Because you're doing it so much, he builds up a tolerance. You're not a tolerance, but he's like, it takes a
It
little
is, a
more.
tolerance
But
is a good
if
word for that.
we ain't been together for 2 weeks and you hitting that hour mark, oh, brother,
Right.
homeboy, back all the way up. We got to talk about this. So it is definitely a difference because if it's been a minute and every little thing you can brush by him, he's ready to roll. And the moment he's like, wait. When you want to hear a guy say that, hold on, because he's trying to slow it down. You want that because that's like a marker for you. It's like, okay, I'm in there now. I got that going. Yeah, I'm doing that. Just like a guy, want to hear a girl talking and all that screaming in the morning, whatever, whatever.
Right.
That's our little telltale that we there. Like the church say, we in the vein. So I think that
Literally.
you can
Literally.
definitely tell. You can definitely
Literally, you are in the vein.
literally the vein is in me. But you got
Hello.
to come on with it. But you got
Church folk.
right, that part. But you can tell for sure. You could tell. I
I don't
mean, yeah.
I don't know if you can tell. You could tell when the last time they did had said that. I'm gonna say what I say. When the last time they did the nasty.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can tell by the sound of their release. Speaking from personal experience, my ex from a long time ago, his refractory period was lickety split.
That
So
was a really good snap, by the way.
thank you.
Hmm.
I practice. So you each one I would say sounds different, but I can't be like, oh, you just did the nasty 2 hours ago because I can hear how it sounds. Does that make sense?
Right. But there are other. So I don't know. Hello.
Oh, that's his name, Travell. That's who made the
Right.
comment. Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
I use 2 weeks because first let me just put a little foundational situational. I travel and I could be gone for a week or two. I've traveled up to 2 weeks at a time, so that's why. But me, and this is not about me, and I didn't get on here to talk about me, but I am a how do you say I,
Just say
I
it.
Come on, just yeah.
yeah,
Like
I'm an enjoyer of connecting. So I
okay.
could connect on the daily. So if we're not
Okay.
connecting on the daily, that is a reason. And either you out of town or I'm out of town. And I come from a apostolic church of Jesus
Come
Christ in
on,
Altamont
sister.
Springs, where my former pastor, he taught that before you go out of town, you need to lay it
Lay
down.
down.
And when you come home, you need to sit on the throne. So it is very taught that you got to connect. So if we ain't connecting this for a reason, Mr. Travell.
I thank
I'm
God
just
for
gonna throw this comment up again because that's for me.
the.
Baby.
Well,
Come on,
baby,
baby. Hop on.
right? Baby should definitely hop on. She's got a wealth of information to
She's
share.
still laughing.
She's got a wealth of information to share with us, for sure.
But baby ain't riding solo though. That's the top.
Right,
Hmm.
right. Yeah, baby don't know what self-loving is, obviously.
Stop. Get off of her so a man can get on. Anyway, um, so come on, host.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so can a woman, because you talked about sound, Brandy. Um, what's your gauge at not flying solo? What Because if it's not sound, uh, if
Colleen.
it's not sound, like for example, I've heard measurement literally the amount of cum in a mouth. I know this is getting way left. Look at your faces. Come on, this is a no judgment zone.
I
If
don't
it's
even know
not
who to judge.
sound, if it's not that, a woman can't tell by a man climaxing inside of her any different, or can she?
I think that if she can gauge by the amount that's in her mouth, that to me, I take that as she's been with this guy for a while.
Right.
Because guys do have a certain amount that they release. Some guys release a lot, some guys don't, some guys shoot out, some guys do a slow drip, not that I've been with, I'm talking
I
about
was gonna
stuff that
say
I've heard.
that's about
Yeah.
seven
Hello.
different categories.
That was not, and don't do your time like that.
Oh no, I just
But anyway, so if she knows him well, I believe she can do that. That is a possibility because that is definitely, and I think that women y'all don't give us enough credit. I mean, because y'all say that you can release it in your
Baby,
book.
Brandy, why did you even put that up? All y'all crazy.
Come
Let
on,
me off
Khalid.
this live right now. Baby,
Come
I'm
on
about
with
to
it,
call
Khalid.
you because you
Just
done
jump
doing
on,
it wrong.
girl.
I'm sorry. Come
But I think guys don't give us enough credit. I mean, we're paying attention. We're y'all say y'all are visual, so are we. But our visualizing is calculating. We doing math in our head.
Hello.
We adding stuff up.
We
It's
That's
doing
not
this.
just
scary.
the coming together, but we're paying attention.
We're
That's
not
really
doing
scary.
we're not doing plus and minusing. We're doing standard deviations and trigonometry, some calc
I got
three
out
up
my
in this thing.
graphing calculator.
And carry
I'm using my graphing
sine,
calculator.
cosine, and tangent around this bad boy.
Carrying the one. That's crazy.
And I agree. If I feel like the time that you've been with that person
Mhm,
will dictate what you know is normal and
mhm.
what is not normal, how long
Mm.
they last, the sounds they make, how they move. Like you know all of this stuff. Like, why you so stiff? Like you just in and out. Okay, some ain't right. Some ain't stirring the Kool Aid, man.
Yeah, and then yeah, it's noticeable.
So let me ask you this. Um, Not flying solo since you're here now. Um,
Welcome.
when it comes to self love, do you think it's something you have to do? Is it something you can run away for forever? Is it natural or always a choice, never appropriate?
I think my mom said it best. I dare not say her name, but she wasn't talking about self love. Let me put that out there. But she says once you start having sex, you continue to have sex. Like that's a thing. Once you experience that, you're going to want that experience again. So if you're with somebody and then you're not with anybody, that desire is still there. So um, I think that it's needed to get to that place. It's needed. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. Let me say that. I don't I think that and I think it's because I grew up in the church and I was told by my pastor in Tampa, if he's watching, he said it was a sin. Um, and he said that that's a form of fornication, not homosexuality, but fornication. He said because the only person that's supposed to make you get there is your spouse. And so it left me with a level of conviction, like I always felt convicted, you know.
Wow.
And so I've never been able to get over that conviction, even though I've matured and I think that it's just natural. I don't think that it's a sin, but I still have that feeling that he placed in me that I just can't shake. So
The question
Brandy, I love the Bob.
is it natural? Or did you learn it from somewhere? Where did you see it?
So
I think it's natural because
I,
somebody posted about children in the daycare.
Uh-huh,
I've
doc,
seen
doc PhD, the
this
pharmacist.
dude I know, this dude on a true story. He has a son, and his son was like 3 or 4, whatever. And his son gave me a hug and started humping me. And
What
I'm
he
like,
saw
what is
that.
he doing? And I don't think that he even knew. I think that it's a member. It's the bot for me too. I think that like I have girls, and I tell them that it's called like this is kind of maybe I shouldn't say this, but I tell them what you think, Brad. I shouldn't say that.
I don't know what you're gonna say, girl. I'm
Brandy
nervous.
What
talked
I
with
told
her
them to
eyes,
call it.
her nose, and her
Huh?
mouth.
What I told them to call it.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's fun.
Well, I have girls, and I grew up. I never told them it was called a vagina or anything like that. I told them it was called a nummy. I said because you shouldn't even know it's there. It's numb to you. Like don't touch it. Don't look at it. Don't do nothing with it.
It's
It's a nummy.
it's an
So
illusion.
they're like us. They think it's called. They thought it was called a nummy because once you, I think because I remember, this is very personal. I remember I my sister takes long showers and she'll just be sitting in the shower like you're going there, she's just sitting there because she just likes to, be in the shower. And so I'm gonna take a long shower. I'm gonna sit in the shower. And I remember water trickled in the wrong spot. And I was like, oh, what's that? Like what just happened there? And I was in middle school. And so it's, it's just like
I am.
I learned something
How do you spell flabbergasted?
about
Can someone
myself.
type that in? Can someone type flabbergasted? And get me off this live.
Oh, my stomach. Oh,
So I think it's natural. I think that it's not something you have to see. It's not something that someone has to put upon you. It's just that when
So
you realize it's there, it's
Taylor,
there.
you are right with me. Flabbergasted.
Oh, RJ, get over here, RJ. I'm done. Good night, y'all. Can we delete this live?
oh God.
Hey, listen. RJ just made my entire night.
Mine too.
Oh, shucks.
That
All
just
right.
made
Good
my
night, y'all. I'm
entire
sweating.
night.
It's hot.
RJ 1000% is on the phone with one of his aunties. I won't say which one. They're gonna have you wrapped in white sheets on Ford Drive tomorrow.
That was
Bishop Rowe gonna be slinging oil tomorrow. You're gonna be wrapped in sheets.
that was over 20 years ago, guys. I mean, I have come.
Somebody. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Whatever, Jasmine.
These comments are killing me.
Whatever, Jasmine.
Oh God.
So you know what? Because I don't want to leave you out there alone. I agree. When it starts, you have no control over it. I was a kid. I was maybe 12, 13, and I did not masturbate. I was laying on my stomach, people, and HBO was on. And y'all remember HBO used to be rough on the weekends.
And at night, late night, yeah.
I don't remember gyrating. I wasn't humping the floor. There was none of that stuff. Before I knew it, though, I had a situation going on. And it was a sticky situation. And I said to myself, what is this?
Thank you, Jasmine.
It was a sticky situation. Ew.
It was a sticky situation. But I will say this. I think if a man said he's not masturbating, even married, he's a good man, because it's more prevalent than people give credit for.
Do you think he's lying?
I have a brother who says he never did it. He said he's never done it. I don't. He has a whole bunch of kids, so I believe him. He said he's never done it. I don't know if he's never done it because he didn't have to, or what. But Jasmine, don't go.
I'm mortified. Can I get them last 5 minutes back? Because I really want to delete and do.
Let me put up a post that Colleen wrote, because I'm sorry, the laughs are just getting it for me. When you're single, yes, you still need to get your rocks off. I'd rather get it off myself than just going somewhere, just giving myself up to somebody that's not really, that I'm not really into.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's. I
don't know who this is. If this is you, go ahead and throw your name out there to let us know. I think we should explore more how a spouse's request should be honored, minus all reasons, excuses, and how is it that presented approach? How is that presented approach? Because that often leads to self-love, right or wrong.
Who was that?
I don't know. It didn't say a name.
I think
if that's your comment, claim it. I just want to know if that's a man or a woman talking.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's probably a man.
Sounds like a man, because most men.
I think it's your beliefs. I mean, I think it's how you view marriage will determine if you have excuses or not.
Right. I agree.
I'm not an excuse maker. So because I don't, I always believed, or I was taught that your body belongs to him, or not belongs to him in the sense of ownership and, lording and
rule over you is what it says in Genesis. Rule over you, belong to him.
And so I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like that, if he's desiring you, but you ain't doing, I do feel like that's room for issues later on.
Yeah.
Because it's only so many times a person's gonna take a no in any situation. no, I'm not gonna feed you. You're gonna get food. You're gonna steal it if you have to. And I believe that sex is a basic need. I do believe that.
I had a pastor who once said, whatever you withhold from your spouse, something that they should have, the enemy has a way of getting it to them. And he talked about him and his wife. He said when they were having a rough patch, and he liked her baked cookies, and she was upset, so she stopped baking the cookies. He said he would go to work. He was a school teacher. He said, and it was this lady on his hallway, and she would come down the hallway, bake some fresh chocolate chip cookies. And if you're not careful, having, like Ashley said, basic needs denied, you're gonna find a what was that?
Don't use my real name.
Girl, I don't put up your comment.
Right. You I think Ron the creator knows exactly who you are.
Did she retype that or you?
No, I just had to show that comment again because it was very
Randy,
befitting. It was very fitting.
Randy, you are amazing.
Whatever,
you
y'all.
are the producer. That was great. That was great execution.
Oh, here we go.
But I agree with that.
I don't think not flying solo said I was taught, which implies that somebody anyway, what I read in the Bible, what I believe is that in regards to that comment, if you're married, you two have become one. And then it leads me to say something else. You two have become one. So what you want from your spouse is what you want for yourself. So that person, would you say no to yourself? Right? You wouldn't say no to yourself if you want something. But then I'm thinking, getting back to masturbation, if we're one, is masturbation wrong?
You mean I'm touching myself, so you're touching me?
I think masturbation is preferred over fornication and adultery. That's for sure. I mean, if it's gonna keep you in your house and to yourself, then you need to do that.
Amen.
Because I don't think that's a sin. RJ, bye. Go to sleep. It's past your bedtime. So I think that.
You've definitely lost your high perch of
no,
sending somebody to bed. Cause
anyway, but I want to say this because the guy, whoever, I think it was the guy that put about the excuses. I heard a lady.
Who was that?
Oh yeah, this
the same one.
I think that I heard a lady say that.
Claim that comment.
Because she was talking about her that we had to rank how important sex was in our marriage, and her husband was like, "Oh, it's a 9, 10 for me," and she's like, "It's a 4 or 5 for me." And so they had to discuss that because we were like an open marriage counseling situation, and she said because he wasn't working, and she said when you're thinking about the other stuff, about the bills and you have to get things done for the family, you're not ranking that high. You're not thinking about pleasing or having sex with this person who you feel should be helping you do certain things. And I feel like that to me would be a reason to say, or I understood her viewpoint to say, you know what, I'm not really on that right now.
Let me ask this, because the marriage issue has come up, in spite of, if your needs are not met. I'm single right now. I'm single, live by myself, yada yada. What if there is no wife? What if so to keep from being a fornicator or a serial fornicator, can I pleasure myself in the confines of my own home and still be y'all preacher next week? That's what I want.
No.
So the single so the married person can pleasure themselves, although they have a full-time husband or wife who they should be releasing with.
If they not on the dolo tip, you can't go into the other room and be like, I'll be back. No, that's if you're, like you said, phone sex type of thing. You're in it together.
Mhm.
So
You aren't doing it
secret self-love. So you mean to tell
within the
me
marriage. Yeah, don't there ain't no secrets here.
And I want to address that. I think my pastor dare not say, "Hey y'all, I was masturbating yesterday," but turn to First Timothy chapter 9.
you're a single pastor?
I don't want to hear
Single,
that. I
married, I
think
don't
that
care.
there's a line that has to be drawn.
Right.
I can't know. Like my mama told me when I got married, she said, "Ash, you can't tell me everything about your marriage." She said because if y'all have a disagreement and you come telling me, I'm gonna remember it. You're gonna be back in love and want to move forward, but I'm going to hold on to it. I think it's the same thing, even though it's happening. You don't have
Right.
to bring that to me and say this is what I'm doing. No, you cannot. No, as
Well,
a
take the
pastor, as a preacher,
the
no.
preaching aspect out of it. A single man, single woman, living by themselves, working, handling their business. They're not in a committed relationship or marriage. Um, they have no right to masturbate.
Like I said, I don't think it's a sin. And I feel like if that's what's gonna keep that person or that's what they want to do, then do that. I think so, but I just don't feel like you need to bring it into you need to commingle that because you can't go to work and say that because that's sexual harassment. You can't go and tell
Oh,
your
right.
coworkers
Yeah.
what you was doing at home.
But
So
I mean,
why
you,
can you come to church and do it?
yeah,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
could.
You need to keep that in your house, but
No, no, no.
regardless
I'm not
of
saying as it pertains to what you do or
Oh
who
yeah.
you are. Even I'm saying just in
He's just
general.
saying, can a single
oh
person love on themselves at home and come to their home, or should they not? And I think she answered it by saying she doesn't think anything's wrong with it. If that's what you want to do what you do. And I talked, me and Ashley were talking a couple of days ago, and she brought up a good point. We convict ourselves. So what one person believes is wrong, the other person may not. So it's
Right.
up to that person for judgment. And I want to go back real quick and say this. I've long heard and said myself, what you won't do, somebody else will.
What?
So some things I just won't do. And that's if that's somebody else will, then will you get out my house? But that's just me. I want to go to some comments. I'm sorry, you had some say, Ashley?
yeah, I want to put a caveat
I mean,
to
sorry,
what he
sorry.
said about. Thank you. About what he said about in your home doing whatever. I think this is me personally. I think it becomes wrong if you're at home masturbating when you're watching porn. I think when you have to use like if you're watching somebody else to get, then I think that that's wrong. Okay, what was the first comment they put up?
She said, "Who are
Who
you
are you
thinking
thinking?
about when you
Yeah,
do it?"
they're
I think
saying
that matters.
similar to what you're
Oh,
saying.
okay, good. Okay, so me and her, that's a female, so
That's
we're on the same
Ebony.
page.
Sorry, Taylor.
Yeah. So okay, okay. Oh, okay. So I think that yeah, so I'm with her then. I feel like if you're thinking about if it's all in your head, that's one thing. But if you have to watch and you're like going to the left in your head, because some people go to the left, talking thinking about stepping on people's heads and stuff like that. I think that that's when it becomes wrong.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, and this is just so, and I know you're going to get to some comments here too. I want to make sure. So if you're single and there is no person in your home, your experiences are either going to be from past experiences, past partners that you've had. And to be honest with you, if you're not married to any of them, it's just as bad as pornography because
Mm-mm,
they're not yours.
mm-mm.
You don't think so? You don't. I don't know if you can separate the two because you're lusting about someone that's not your husband or your wife either way. But what my question is, if someone, because when the Rose came out, are you too familiar with the Rose?
Not personally, but I've seen it.
What about you, Brent? Lend me a hand.
I'm just here to lend a hand. What's the question?
Are you
Am I
familiar with the
familiar?
Rose toy that went viral this year?
No.
Don't look it up. So apparently there was this new sex toy that was introduced for women called the Rose, and apparently this thing had settings, and it was the most accurate comparison to what oral sex feels like on a woman. It actually had this suction thing, a whole bunch of stuff. the reviews by a lot of women were saying this was the best sex toy that they've ever experienced, and that it was better than anything a man could do. To the point where some women were saying, with this, you really don't need a man for sex. I think whenever masturbation comes to the point where self-simulated sex gets to the point where it makes you question your need for the opposite sex or your need for a healthy relationship in a future marriage or your current marriage, I think it is sin. I think at that point, you have an issue that needs to be dealt with, because nobody is supposed to, if your toy is so great to where you don't think that you need a man's touch or a man's companionship or an honorable marriage, you in trouble. What are you laughing at? Look up. Look up.
I think that,
Don't do it.
but isn't that what masturbation is? You're saying that I don't need the opposite
Right.
sex.
What if
That,
maybe I
that's
can't
what
get
that
the
is.
opposite sex? It may be I can't have the opposite sex. It ain't that I don't need you, because if you was here, it would be you and not him.
Welcome to 2021
But I think
in the
that
writing year.
that's still what it is. Whether you can't get it or not, you still are saying, because I can't get it, I don't need it. I got this. I have me. I can do this myself.
Right.
That's what it is. It's I don't need it. And I think for a lot of women, you know, if you're providing financially for yourself, and I mean, because when men do come, it is a level of stress that comes along with it. I am pro relationship. Don't get me wrong, but I think that sometimes you have to, especially women that are trying to quote unquote find themselves or reestablish themselves, you have to step back from the opposite sex. You have to step back and say, you know what, I'm
That's
focusing
true.
on me right now.
That's true.
So in focusing on me, I still have that need. So this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I
And it's
don't.
not that I don't, you know, oh, sorry, go ahead,
Oh
Brandy.
no, you weren't done. I finished. Go ahead.
And I was just saying, so it's, it is I was just going to repeat myself. Go ahead. I'm done.
For me, I think masturbation is sexual immorality. That's what I think.
Okay.
So, single or not, uh, except for within the confines of a marriage, masturbation is no, don't do it. Just say no.
So you don't think single people should masturbate?
No, not at all. Don't
All
side
right.
eye me. Let me go to Tasia's comment. She said, I believe to eliminate issues in the bedroom, I believe you and your spouse should discuss what's acceptable and not acceptable in the bedroom. Do you
What
agree?
What if the masturbation doesn't happen in the bedroom? What if
I
what
don't
if I
think she
wake?
means literally the bedroom.
Oh,
I think she means within the marriage.
I think that some things are not discussion worthy. I feel like some things, because you don't know, you can't discuss everything that you
Right.
like, and you can't expect that person. So some things is the adventure of finding out during the time. It is a part of the joy to say, oh, that's what you want. Oh, okay, that's what you want. But I think that's a part of the
Be involved.
excitement.
Like should be involved.
no, I am. I'm checking comments. So I think that to say, who thinks that you're gonna have to discuss masturbation with your wife, right? In God's mind, you get married and masturbation is figment of your imagination, never to be heard of again until you know uh, you don't have to masturbate. I mean, you think about the times where sometimes you wake up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, your partner is asleep. You try the all the telltale signs that you know I'm ready. This is a good opportunity.
You ain't
Whether
tried them
it's
all.
whether it's
Ooh,
heat on your back and meat on your crack, whatever the case may be, I, you try these things and it doesn't work. I'm saying um, I'm saying that you 1,000%. I think that if you decide to pleasure yourself, maybe take pictures and take videos with you and your spouse. So when sister girl is not able or ready, you can just whip out a video of her and you and please yourself, and then I don't see that anyone should be upset. It does not. It does necessarily have to. It does
Doesn't it
not.
doesn't necessarily have to be.
Oh, but I didn't read the rest of the comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't necessarily have to be masturbation. It could be something else.
Right.
And let me go up here real quick to Taylor's comment. It says, I heard a pastor say if you withhold sex from your spouse to get your way, it's a form of witchcraft. I don't know about all
Hello.
that.
No.
But I do believe in withhold. I do not believe with withholding from your spouse.
I
I
agree.
think it's yeah, I think it's I don't know if it's witchcraft, but I think it's manipulation.
And yeah.
I
Well, it's
think
witchcraft.
it is I think it's I don't think it's right. I don't think that there's two, I would say three things that I feel like should not be used in a marriage like that. Like should not be weaponized. And that's sex, money, and your children. In any relationship. They should not be used as weapons.
Hmm.
And most
That's really
oftentimes it's
good,
women
actually.
that are using the body and the children. The men are trying to use money as a form of manipulation and control, and I don't feel like neither of those should be in play. um
That's really good, actually.
yeah, and I think thanks, and I think that as far as you trying to give her hints while she's asleep, there's just one, and I can't speak for myself. There's one thing that is like it's not even a hint; it's a full on. Hey, this is what I want to do. I mean, I think that there are ways of getting her to respond, and
What is that?
yeah. So I think that also, if he has to get up and go to another room to do it, that to me also makes it wrong. I think if you're like, oh, she ain't waking up, and you can lay right there and do it, then that's different for me. I think that because then it feels like I feel like he's trying to hide something, or he feels like it's
Hmm.
wrong if I have to go into another room.
If you woke, if okay,
Maybe
woman
that's just
woke,
me. I mean, I'm not a guy. I
if
don't
the
know.
woman woke up and a man was full force servicing himself next to her, she's going to be weirded out. She's going to think she married a pervert. See?
Evan. Yeah,
Th-
I wouldn't though. I'll be like, "What you
Thank you.
doing? Why you ain't wake me up?"
Thank you. I don't know who Taylor is, but Taylor, you
Oh, I'm
got
sorry.
good
This one.
sense. Yeah. Meat on my butt. Tasia, you on silence till Sunday. Till Sunday.
I don't know how I would feel if I let me hold on.
I wouldn't feel no type of way. I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?"
I'm like, yeah. Do you need me to finish?
Oh, RJ's still on here. You're so disobedient.
Hello.
And
Hello.
we know she waking up because you
You did
got
the
you got
Kermit teeth.
the tree, the
Right.
fruit off the tree to prove it.
Right. Hello.
Hello.
She don't
Hello.
sleep.
Hello. Right.
That poor girl. I tell her I'm praying for the night.
Stay safe, sis. Stay safe.
Right.
So, oh, I'm sorry, host. I'm sorry. Give me a hand.
No, I
I'll
was
take
going to
over.
say, I think that what we can agree to is that masturbation has no rules, it has no
No,
boundaries.
we didn't agree to
We
that.
didn't agree to that.
It
I, th-
does.
I think, no, it's okay, sister. I think it's very interesting that a single man has more rules about when or how he should masturbate than a married man. I think that masturbation, I think, should be for the single. Should be in a perfect
Wait,
world.
you said the single man has more rules than a married man?
Yeah, you said that a single man should not masturbate.
Right.
Right. But a married man can masturbate as long as it's his wife knows about
Well, the
it.
Lord said there's nothing defiled in the sanctity of marriage except for that one thing.
Right. And that's like biblically, a single man can't have sex, but a married man can have all the sex he want to have with
All the
his
sex he
wife.
wants.
So I think that that's kind of the same principle that I'm just here to lend a hand, is saying, but I don't think that is wrong. Um, I don't think it's wrong either way. I think that married man, I think it's more wrong for the married man to do it.
So you two disagree on that?
I guess so.
I guess, yeah.
I just want to say this since Brandy debuted her name. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all 3 part.
Need
I knew you.
somebody to lean on.
Lean on me.
Hey, when you get strong, hey.
Strong armed.
Right.
Anyway,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I know you think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that this is a great conversation. I think that there are a lot of myths about it, but I think one thing we can agree: it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No.
I think
Oh, I'm sure
that
it'll get more popular.
women definitely masturbate more than men do.
No.
Um, Brandy said women masturbate to finish. Most women don't finish with men. That's a statistical fact.
That does not mean that women masturbate more than men. It's too easy
They
for
got
men to
roses and
masturbate.
shower heads and all kind of stuff.
Not
It's
it's
And
too
y'all
easy
got
for men to
blow up
masturbate.
dolls.
It's too convenient for y'all to
ain't no
masturbate.
man using no blow up doll. Not a black man at least.
Right. So y'all got y'all hand and it's boom right there. All you gotta do is unzip and slip. Just I think men do it. I think men
Whoa.
do it more than women. But I think women cheat more than men. But go ahead. That's another story. That's another
Amen.
topic.
They sure do.
So for you, give me a hand. Masturbation is okay.
Yay.
Not flying solo. Masturbation is okay for the unmarried. And for me, masturbation is okay for the married if it is in conjunction with your spouse.
That's
Okay.
pretty dope.
And I will say this because sound like you wrapping up that I was very leery about this topic, but I think you did it very tastefully, both of you.
Oh,
And yeah, because I was like thinking, oh my gosh, what is my sibling talking about here? But yeah, it was really good.
Okay, good.
okay.
I figured it was just gonna be this guy right here and that. So thank you for joining us. We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
joining us.
Tasia, Taylor, Ebony. I'm calling you Ebony. Ron, the creator. He has a book out. Put in the comments your book.
Let me see.
Jasmine, Colleen. Thank y'all, cause y'all technically with all these comments, y'all were hosts. Y'all just didn't want to show your
Yeah.
face. Uh, Travail, thank you for your comment. So I appreciate all y'all coming.
TD.
That's Travail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks for joining. Thanks for allowing me to guest host. I'm glad we made it through. This has been on the docket for a long time. I think it was a great conversation. Make sure you share, invite people to watch the playback. Not only share on your social media platforms, text it to a couple people, some serial masturbators you know, with the hopes of helping them out. No?
To either convict them or not. And regarding sharing, I expect you to share all the lives from now on your page. Last year,
Sure.
you were saying
is it a
not
way
flying
that we
solo.
can edit like some stuff out of a live? Is that an option? Not serious question. Do we do that? Can that be done?
I'm sure it can be if I delete it from everywhere, then edit it, and that will take forever.
And let's work on that.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Do any of the commenting guest hosts have anything to say before we depart? And thank you for everyone that commented on the Question Time Live page. I can't name everyone because I don't have it up in front of me. Oh yes, I do. There it is. Chad, I wish you would have joined in on this one because you had some great stuff to say. Neil, there was one comment. It said instead of legs opening to sex, pleasure your own first. Can't get pregnant, nor diseases that way. I said, all right, you
You
busy.
can if you don't wash your hands
Oh gosh.
prior to. Just a thought. Be safe. Practice
Do
safe.
do men wash their
And,
hands first?
and I think Michael
You
Jackson said it
should
best.
practice safe self sex and wash your hands before you start.
and listen to Michael Jackson.
We don't have those copyrights.
Oh,
We don't have those copyrights. So I'm not paying for it. If you would like to, by all means, but Raw News No Fluff will not be paying for that copyright infringement. Thank you, though.
Oh, okay. I like that comment he just made.
And for the man's.
boom.
So
Got
we
you,
didn't have
dog.
any valid. Ooh, let me see you in these streets. I know we had valid points, sir. Thank you for the comments. Anything else you want to wrap it up? Give me a hand.
Make sure you follow. Listen, there's a Cash App down there somewhere. If you've enjoyed this content and you'd like to see more of it, go ahead and make that Cash App jingle jingle. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to Randy. I'm sure she'll help you. If you use Zelle or something like that, she's got you covered. Thanks for Not Flying Solo for jumping on there and really doing your thing. Thanks again for the opportunity. Back to the hand of our gracious host. Just here to lend a hand.
I have nothing. I mean, great conversation. I appreciate both of you. I'm just going to remind everyone to make sure they stay aware of this month's topics. At the end of the month, we do have a member's choice. So if there's a topic that you want to discuss or you want to see discussed, let's send it in the comments or DM me, PM me. There's too many M's. Message me and we can get a vote going and see which one we're going to talk about at the end of the month. Actually, I have to put one up that I'm probably going to talk about one of these days, if not at the end of the month. So make sure you join that. Make sure you subscribe. Last thing, make sure you subscribe to the Raw News No Fluff YouTube page, because once I get to 5,000 followers, I'm going to run a 5K. I'm going to walk a 5K and try not to die.
Speed walk, right?
I'll speed walk that thing all day. I'm going to start training now because I'm expectant. So thank you all for joining us. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you again. See you next week. Same time, same place.
Good night.
Good night.